I always considered my life simple. The daily routine was completely normal. Wake up in the morning, go to work, come back, and rest. There was nothing unusual. But then gradually, I started feeling a strange tiredness. The kind of tiredness that wouldn't go away even after sleep. My body felt heavy, and sometimes my hands would even shake slightly. I ignored it, convincing myself it was just stress, nothing serious. But I did not know then that this was not just fatigue. And then the next day was going to change my life completely. The next day came, but things didn't return to normal. In fact, my condition worsened. I started feeling dizzy for no apparent reason, and my vision would occasionally blur. It became difficult to focus on work, and even small things became tiring. My hands were shaking more, as if my body was losing control. I began to feel scared, but I still couldn't understand what was happening to me. My condition was getting worse every day, and then one night something happened that I can never forget. Everything seemed completely normal that night. I came home, ate dinner as usual, and tried to relax. But suddenly I felt dizzy. The sounds in my ears became blurred, as if everything was fading away. I tried to compose myself, but my strength failed me. Everything blurred before my eyes, and the next moment my body had fallen to the ground. I could hear the frightened voices of the family members. Then everything went silent. Everything was fine, and then suddenly everything went dark. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed. When I woke up, I was on a hospital bed. My body felt very weak, as if all the strength had gone out of me. My close attendants were around me, worry and fear clearly visible on their faces. I asked softly what was wrong with me, but instead of giving a direct answer, the doctor was called. After some time, the doctor came. His face was serious. What the doctor said, it stopped my breathing. He simply said, "My condition isn't normal. I've been poisoned." And this wasn't just a single instance, but something that had been happening gradually over the past few weeks. It was hard for me to understand. How could this be possible? Then he said one more thing, which was even more dangerous. After the doctor left, a strange silence fell over the room. Only one thought swirled in my mind. If I was being slowly poisoned, it couldn't have been the work of a stranger. I looked around me. I remembered my loved ones, my family, and then the people at my place of work. Every face turned suspicious for a moment. My heart wasn't ready to accept it, but my mind was forcing it. Meaning someone was close to me, and slowly everyone's suspicion fell on just one person. Everyone's gaze focused on my own sister. Someone whispered her name, and then, seemingly without a second thought, everyone believed her. She repeatedly claimed she hadn't done anything. Fear welled up in her eyes, tears welling up. I stared at her. My heart told me she couldn't lie. I trusted him, but everyone was looking at him. My mind was in a mess. I couldn't quite figure out what was true and what wasn't. If not that, then who? But there was something that was not matching. The next few days were filled with questions and investigation. Everything was checked: my daily routine, what I ate, who I met, home food, water, everything. Everyone was asked repeatedly, but no solid proof was forthcoming. The more I tried, the more my confusion grew. Lying on the hospital bed, I just listened to all this, and I was torn apart inside. After every answer, only more questions were being received. Then suddenly, someone noticed a small thing. That day, a small thing kept repeating itself during the investigation. Every report kept coming up with the same thing. Something I regularly consumed was making my condition worse. Sometimes juice, sometimes water, sometimes a specific drink I was given daily. No one had noticed it before, but now the pattern was becoming clear. This didn't seem like mere coincidence, but something planned. This could not have been a coincidence. A strange feeling started coming to my mind, as if I was trusting someone who was very close to me every day. Then I realized who I was blindly trusting. That night, everything started to become clear. The patterns that had appeared weren't just coincidences. The things I was being given each time were slowly ruining my nature. And when all the evidence came together, only one name stood out: the person I trusted the most, the closest person in my own family. The one I trusted the most was him. I couldn't believe it when I saw him. My mind was in shock. My heart was breaking. You? You did this? My voice trembled. He remained silent for a while, as if trying to hide the truth, but then something changed in his eyes. But after hearing his reason, I was shattered. He slowly began to speak, and each word stabbed me in the heart. He said it wasn't just poison, it was old resentment that had deepened with time. The pain of money, property, and old relationships had filled him. He believed life had taken everything from him, and I had become the cause of the very thing that had caused him the most pain. It wasn't just poison, it was hatred. My heart was broken. I couldn't understand how the man I considered my own could harbor such deep hatred. Tears wouldn't stop flowing, and it was difficult to speak. Everything was gone: trust, family, and the world I considered safe. I quietly walked away from there, without saying anything, without looking back. Sometimes the enemy isn't outside, it's inside.